What up, peeps? It's time for another episode of Gross Pointe Bake, man. We back. Gross Pointe Bake is the show where we talking the numbers. We talking the album sales. We talking the box office grosses. We talking the TV ratings. Who was watching what? Who was buying what? Who was listening to what? Who was pulling up to the movie theater? We doing all numbers on this show. You know what I'm saying? No opinions, all numbers. And occasionally I do a versus episode where I put two, whether it be actors or musicians, I put them head to head to see who's coming out on top. In this episode, we doing a battle. Now, when you talk about the greatest singers of all time, who comes to mind? Who do you really, when you think about the best voices in the game, the best voices with the album sales to match, who comes to mind? Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Aretha Franklin, Adele. You thinking of these powerhouses, right? Well, we putting together Whitney Houston versus Mariah Carey. Two giants in the game. Big giants. Singing hard with the album sales to match. But who sold more albums? We about to find out right here, right now. Who you got? Put your money up right now. Who you got? Who you think is going to come out with the album sales? Who's going to be on top? Let me know in the comment section. All right, here we go, y'all. First up the bat, Whitney Houston coming in. We're going to do 5 on 5. Their top 5 against each other's top 5, and then we're going to tally up. Whitney Houston, her number 5 album. Actually, it's a tie. With 5 and 4, they're tied. My Love Is Your Love. My love is your love. Wait, how's that song go? Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It'll take an eternity to break us. I forgot about that song. That album sold 4 million copies. I remember Wyclef Jean produced that song. And, it was toward the later half of Whitney Houston's career. And it was a good time. It was a good time. You know what I'm saying? Whitney was singing, doing her thing. That's her number 5 album. But it's tied with number 4, I'm Your Baby Tonight. Also sold 4 million copies. Certified at quadruple platinum according to RIAA. I'm your baby tonight. I'm your baby. Whatever you want from me, giving you everything. I'm your baby tonight. Y'all remember that song? I forgot about that song until I made this list. I remember that song coming on all the time. It was around the holidays too. I feel like they were playing that around the holidays in 1990. I'm your baby tonight. 4 million copies sold. I'm your baby tonight. Quadruple platinum. More platinum for Whitney Houston. Number 3 for Whitney Houston in these album sales. The Whitney album. The album called Whitney. I Want to Dance with Somebody album. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Yo, Whitney Houston got a movie coming out soon. I think it comes out on Christmas. On Christmas, I think the Whitney Houston movie comes out, and it's called I Want to Dance with Somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah. Anyway, that album sold 10 million copies. That is a diamond album. To get diamond certification on RIAA, you must move 10 million. And Whitney did just that. Certified at 10 million copies on RIAA, and that's her 3rd best selling album. Number 2, her debut album entitled Whitney Houston. She really didn't vary up these album titles in the beginning of her career. She's just like, I'm going to call the first album Whitney Houston. The second album, though, that's just going to be Whitney. And then she might as well put a 3rd album out, call it Houston. And then, just put it together like that, since that's what we're doing. Whitney Houston's debut, 13 million copies. 13 million copies moved on the debut. This is where she's sitting there with her hair pulled back, looking like black excellence. Black Excellence, goddammit. 13 million, man. Now you're here like you've been before, and I knew. I don't know the words like that, but you know what I'm saying? Take this heart of mine into your hands. You give good love. And the greatest love of all, man. Let me get my Randy Watson on. And the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the great. Anyway, on that album, crazy hits on that album. 13 million sold for the debut. And number one on Whitney Houston's top 5. Y'all probably already know what it is. Even though it's a soundtrack, it's primarily Whitney Houston. The Bodyguard soundtrack, 18 million. 18 million certified. Bodyguard soundtrack was doing crazy numbers. And on that song, you had I Will Always Love You, I'm Every Woman. What's that one slow song on there? Run to You. She was out here killing it on that soundtrack. It was hit after hit after hit. And that's one of the best-selling albums of all time. Whitney Houston was in on that, man. So there we have it. That's Whitney Houston's top 5. And we're looking at her top 5 is at 49 million. Top 5. 49 million. That's what she's doing out here. That's her top 5. Mariah Carey, kind of scary. Wait a minute, what about my honey Mary? Now, Mariah Carey, let's see what she's talking about. Mariah Carey, her top 5. Number 5, coming in at number 5. Mariah Carey's number 5 album, The Emancipation of Mimi, is number 5. 7 million sold. Shake it off, cause your loving ain't the same, and you keep on playing games. That was on that album. What was that other one? That slow song she had? The Mariah Carey slow song. Goddamn, on The Emancipation of Mimi. We belong together. We belong together. We belong together, baby. When I lost that part of me, it was so hard to believe. We belong together. She was singing on that track, man. Mariah Carey can sing. Now, if they stood flat-footed live right now, in both of their primes, I'm gonna give the edge to Whitney Houston. But Mariah Carey ain't no punk, man. And she can hit those different octaves. But I'm gonna give the powerhouse vibe to Whitney Houston. But that's just my opinion. We talking album sales right now. Emancipation of Mimi, that was like her comeback album, 7 million sold. Number 4 for good old Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas is her number 4 album, 8 million sold on the Christmas album. The Christmas album was moving units out here. Mariah Carey, we be hearing her Christmas songs every year, and it's genius. When you make a Christmas album that sells like that, you good for life, because your album is about to reheat every year. Your album is gonna reheat every year. That's why a lot of artists make Christmas albums. Making a Christmas album is a must, because that shit is gonna reheat every year like Thanksgiving leftovers, man. You want that Christmas album in your repertoire. All right, now not all of them are gonna sell like 8 million, but at least you want to give it a fair shot. Merry Christmas, Mariah Carey, 8 million sold. Mariah Carey's debut album, that's her number 3 album, self-titled Mariah Carey, Vision of Love, Someday. Love takes time. Love takes time to heal when you're hurting so much. Couldn't see that I was blind. To let you go, I couldn't step away this time. I didn't even know I knew the words like that, the love takes time. I didn't even expect that to come from myself. But Mariah Carey's self-titled debut album, 9 million sold. 9 million sold for Mariah Carey's debut album. Didn't do as much as Whitney Houston's debut album, but 9 million ain't no punk. Number 2 for good old Mariah Carey, The Music Box. The Music Box album sold 10 million copies. 10 million copies sold for the Music Box album. That's certified diamond for Mariah Carey. That album, let's see what hits we got on this album right here. Mariah Carey, I think she had Hero. Then the hero comes along with the strength to carry on. Yeah, so Music Box was selling like hotcakes, diamond territory. And that's not her only diamond album. Mariah Carey's #1 top-selling album, Daydream. Daydream is her #1 top-selling album. It's got Fantasy on it. Sweet Fantasy. One Sweet Day with Boyz II Men, which was a single that broke all kind of records when it came out. What's that one? What's that? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You can't escape me. Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. And we'll linger on. Always Be My Baby is on that album as well. It sold 11 million copies. 11 million copies sold. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey was doing her thing, doing numbers, 2 diamond albums in her repertoire. But when we tallying up the numbers, Mariah Carey's top 5 is at 45 million. 45 million. Whitney Houston's is at 49 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner in this top 5 versus face-off. In the top 5 versus face-off, Whitney Houston coming out on top. But, if we expand it to the total discography of albums sold, 60 million for Whitney Houston, 72 million for Mariah Carey. 72 million for Mariah Carey, 60 million for Whitney Houston. Mariah Carey has more albums. So there we have it. In the 5-on-5 battle, Whitney Houston reigns supreme. Total, Mariah Carey's coming in at #1. So there we have it, guys. Mariah versus Whitney. Who did you think was going to win? Also, what's your favorite Whitney Houston album? What's your favorite Whitney Houston song? Also, what's your favorite Mariah Carey album? What's your favorite Mariah Carey song? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know which battles you want to see in the future. Let me know, and we'll get those cracking on Gross Pointe Bake, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We out.